Docker? I hardly know. I watched hours in tutorials and to be honest I'm still quite lost. So today we're just jumping in and learning. The goal is simple. I want to install and use Docker and then actually try to run an application. But why do I want to learn Docker? Well, because of my very cool and very new home lab. Also, I've heard. I have no experience with this stuff. 6 months ago I didn't even know what an ISO file was. So yeah. But maybe if you're a complete beginner like me, you could pick up a few things from this video. Before we dive into the terminal, what even is Docker? So I know what a virtual machine is. It's splitting up a physical computer into one or more VMs. Very smart, but I plan to self-host a lot of different services, which presents a problem. Using a different VM for every service would just use up unnecessary resources. Okay, then just run multiple services in a VM. Well, no, because that mixes everything up together, and if something then breaks, it could affect the rest of the system. There has to be a better way. Well, there is. Docker. Docker is basically a way of running applications in isolated environments called containers. Container? I hardly. So really you get the best of both worlds. One system, but separated apps. If one container breaks, it doesn't affect the rest. Okay. Good, but how does it work? Well, I found there are 3 things we need to be familiar with. A Docker file, an image, and a container. A Docker file is basically a set of instructions, like a blueprint or recipe for the container. It tells Docker things like install this, run that, and so on. An image then is the finished recipe or blueprint. So am I going to make a Docker file myself? Hell no, I don't know how to do that. Yet, at least. Luckily, I don't have to, because people have already built images for most apps. So instead of building it myself, I can just download an image and run it. Nice! So, in short summary, a container runs from an image, and that image is basically the finished result of a Docker file. The Docker file builds it, the image saves it, and then the container runs it. I hope that's right, I don't know. Let's install Docker. I'm following the official documentation, but I'll try to explain what the commands do. Let's first connect via SSH to the VM I made. It's a Debian install, and it's called Focker, because Foci and Docker. Get it? First we'll run a sudo apt update and upgrade. First it recommends running this command to make sure that there's no Docker already. Then these commands, which does something about a keyring. Okay. Now this big one, it adds Docker's official repository, so we install Docker from the correct source. Let's run a sudo apt update again, so the new repository is included. This one installs Docker itself, along with the tools needed to run and manage containers. Now we can do the recommended tests, so sudo docker run hello world. Yep. Seems to work. Now this one, sudo usermod ag docker user, which lets me run Docker without typing sudo every time. Okay, Docker is now installed, but I don't want to manage everything through the terminal, so I'm going to use Portainer, which gives me a web interface for Docker. Docker volume create Portainer. This creates persistent storage, so Portainer keeps its data even if the container restarts. Now this one runs Portainer as a container and exposes a web interface to manage Docker. Now we have the address, so let's go to Portainer. I just open my browser and go to this address and I got a security warning, but never mind. Let's create a username and password, and then I chose the local environment, and now we're in. Local connect. So this is the Portainer dashboard, which gives me an overview of my Docker environment. I can see how many containers are running, how many images I've downloaded, and things like networks and volumes. So instead of digging through the terminal, I just get a quick snapshot of everything that's happening in the system. Now instead of building something myself, I'll just use an existing image. So I click add container, give it a name, choose the image, map a port so I can access it in the browser, and deploy it. And just like that, the container is running. I didn't install anything manually, I just ran an image. This is so cool. Now let's go to Kuma. Yep, there it is. Nice. I can also get to the Docker Hub directly here if I wanted to install Pi-hole, for example. Now, I still want to get familiar with the most basic commands, so let's switch to the terminal again. Docker ps, this shows all running containers. Docker stop, Kuma, So this stops the container, so the app goes offline. Docker start Kuma. I think this one is self-explanatory. Docker restart Kuma. This stops and starts it in one step. Now I could also skip the interface, so Portainer completely, and just work in the terminal. So I could run docker pull file browser, for example. This downloads the image without running it. So I need to run it with this command. This creates and starts a container from that image and maps it to a port so I can access it in the browser. Let's see. Yeah, it works. We also have docker stop. Okay, so let's say I want to remove file browser again. First I'll stop it, and then I run docker rm file browser. So now we have removed the container. Cool. Okay, let's leave it here for now. Honestly, it wasn't all that bad. Granted, I didn't actually do that much, but I feel like I understand Docker a bit better now. Future Foci here. Yes, Foci, you did learn some things about Docker. But you should add that you also spend the next 8 hours learning about Docker stacks and config files and YAML and Portainer and whatever. Oh, and maybe also that you managed to mess up the Wi-Fi for a few hours. So you'll get to see that soon. I know a lot of my viewers knows this stuff quite well, so please share your advice in the comments or just tell me all the things that I got wrong. I don't mind. But I'd also really like some advice on the setup that I plan to make. Right now I have 3 main systems in the home lab. A single board server, a NAS, and the mini PC that I currently run Proxmox on, which will later run Jellyfin, Nextcloud, and so on. I want the single board server to run things like Pi-hole, Unbound, Homepage, and Netbird, or Tailscale, I don't know. So what I'm asking is this: does this sound like a good plan? I want my home lab to be as easy and intuitive as possible. Oh, and I also like the idea of testing stuff before committing fully and integrating it into my home lab. So as a little teaser of what you might see soon here on the channel, this is what I've been having a lot of fun with recently. A full home server made from old Macs. Because I have a lot of those. Also, sorry for the neckbeard in this episode, but I guess it's quite on brand for what the channel is becoming. Oh, and if home labbing content isn't quite your cup of tea, don't worry, I'm still working on other Linux videos. My experiment of using Anime Linux has just ended, so now I need to edit and put the video together, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to Justin, Cal, Afraris, Jan, Lester, and Dustin, as well as the other members of the channel. You too can become a member of the channel, if it's financially responsible of you. Right now there are 2 tiers with different perks, but in addition to these, all members are invited to join a VIP channel in the Discord. Okay, bye!